Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Generational Rescues channel once more. The soft spot center, the one that you can count and rely on. My name is Chris and Anderson, and today we have another edition of our usual substance abuse talk. And today we're going to be talking about the World Drug Day's findings there when we had our activities. And we're going to be talking about some of the messages that were given to us from the ghettos. Okay, welcome back. So the World Drug Day was on June 26th, and we had a wonderful time with family members, with parents that we talked to, and we had a wonderful time also with the guys there in one of the biggest ghettos and Monrovia. So there were time of talk, and then also they had to ask questions after we talked to them, give them some words of encouragement. Then they had to ask question. And why asking the question? There was this guy who spoke to us, and this is what he said: "What are you people doing when it comes into the younger guys that are just joining us? What are Liberians doing when it comes to the younger guys who are just joining substance abuse?" He said, "We have been into it for a longer period of time and we want to get out." Listen to that. We have been there for a longer period of time and we want to get out. But the guys who are just getting involved don't want to get out. They still want to see the pleasure, they feel that is good and the end results are going to be perfect and like that. So what are you doing about that? And what are you doing to stop the younger generation from joining us? And it ran into every one of us mind at the moment when he said, "What are you doing to prevent the younger generation from joining us? Kindly stop them from joining us." What we consider to be zogos, substance abusers, substance users, guys who we don't regard in our society, is telling us, kindly stop the younger generation from joining us. They now have feelings for you and I. They are telling us that we should stop your child. They are telling us that we should stop your sister. They are telling us that we should stop your children from joining them because they know what they are going through. The experience is terrible and horrible. And we had to answer his question that we've been working with a lot of them, pretty close to 5,000 or 5,000 plus that we worked with during the period of 8 months. And we are convinced that, at least by the help of God, maybe up to 90% of those that we interacted with will have it difficult to be able to get involved into substance abuse. So I make a comparison with a survey that came out of India. Liberia is a low income country. India is also a low income country. The survey says that you have 10 to 21 million people, young people, involved into substance abuse. India, though they have a very high population, should be, I think, the second or third highest population country or populated country in the world, but they have 10 between 10 to 21 million young people involved into substance abuse. It's horrible. It's terrible. Now, what they said that is that 60% of those that got involved into substance abuse are now trying to get out. But the finding says that of them, The 60% of the 10 to 21 million people, 60% of them were introduced to substance abuse at an early stage, below 15 years. It's creeping into our country. We are introducing our children to alcohol consumption. We are introducing them to people seated around and consuming substances because the availability is becoming huge. We are making them to become used to it. And they're going to find that they will get attracted and they will want to experiment because they're going to see it as a normal form of life, a normal thing to do. With that, our population of 20, about 20% of our population, we have 5.5 million people in Liberia, and 20% of that is involved into substance abuse, according to report from the United Nations. It's terrible for us. As we expose the younger people to substances, they are going to experiment, they are going to be eager to test them. Are your child going to be safe? Are your child going to survive the hurricane that's going to flow and the troublesome storm that's going to come out? Because because of the availability of substance in the country, in their environment, with their friends, as they go to party, as they go to places. It's becoming crucial for us more and more. Liberia has to do what it can do to save our younger generation. I continue to alarm this. The information is telling us that about 20% of our population is involved into substance abuse. The 20% can be able to go to a 40%, and the 40% can even continue to grow within period of time. They are telling us that 1 out of every 5 is involved into substance abuse. So we got 2 out of 10 involved into substance abuse, and it continues to grow. Are your child going to be safe? Are my children going to be safe? What society are we going to present to them? What society are we going to give them? It's the question to every one of us. The generational rescue says we have to talk more to our children. We have to give them some encouragement. We have to give them vibe and a point of focus. What they must go for, what they have to pay attention to, what are the danger and trap that are ahead of them. Generational rescue loves you, loves your children, and loves every human being that's on the face of this earth. Let's work to save our wonderful children, our wonderful country, ourselves. Peace. Stay clean, still alive. Tell your children to stay clean, that they should stay alive. Peace.